Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Kotaku again. Geeky is going to sit in on this video because Alyssa Mercante is having a major meltdown on Twitter.
She really is.
I thought she got thrown off of Twitter.
I don't know. She's on Twitter. She's still there.
She can't quit Twitter. So we're going to talk about this. Going to do a real quick recap. I did a video earlier this morning talking about Kotaku Australia shutting down. And they're still looking for a new editor over there at the US Kotaku. And she's basically just trying to say anybody that does a journalism outside of these vetted sources, you're not a real journalist.
No, you didn't go to journalism college.
You didn't go to journalism
Never mind
college.
that Neon has worked in, journalism probably before she was born. But
Probably. Yeah, I actually started out my first real job as an adult, barely an adult, was working at a newspaper, and I actually was an editor at a newspaper in my early 20s. So,
and then several other publications after that.
Worked in radio, worked in corporate marketing and communications, and yeah, so I've been around a while there, Alyssa. So hopefully you're not talking about me.
You used to build websites back in the day too, back when people didn't know how.
I did. I used to hand code websites. Yeah.
Right. So,
I made ridiculous money doing that, by the way.
You probably did.
Ridiculous money. Like I could make like 10 grand in a weekend. It was crazy. Those days are long gone. But let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, you get woohoo if you do.
Woohoo.
Yeah. So the news is that Vice, Kotaku, Refinery 29, etc., including some other sites too. I guess they licensed them out to an Australian company called Pedestrian Group, and Pedestrian Group decided they did not want to renew those licenses. Why would you? Why would you want to be associated with Kotaku?
Now, let me ask you: when they had the licenses, did they have their own teams over there doing articles, or did they
believe so? Yeah,
post articles from the other? Then the licensing fee would be something that they would be counting on for media money, and now they're not going to get.
Yeah, so the word on the street was that Kotaku, actually a lot of the older articles were mirrored on the Australian site, because when Gizmodo got sold to Geo Media, a lot of the archives got gone, and we know this happens a lot when companies change hands. MTV News, they just purged 20 years of content. And sometimes they don't want to host old stuff. Sometimes there's stuff on there they don't want people to find, whatever the reason is. But Luke Plunkett was saying that some of the images and articles are still hosted on the Australian side. Now, Alyssa disagrees fiercely.
Oh, yes. Ironically, Alyssa keeps posting pictures of herself in a swimsuit. I don't know if she's looking for work or showing off. I can't tell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had to say it.
So
anyway.
She's angry that anybody with a webcam can do her job. Are we talking about Kotaku, or are we talking about OnlyFans? Because anybody with a camera can do either one of those careers. Anybody
who has a vagina, that can do female sex work too. So, well, you don't even need that apparently. So there you go. It's not exactly hard either. So she's an expert on sitting on, being on your back and doing nothing.
Ooh, you can say that. You're a woman. I can't say that because I'm a misogynist if I do. Alyssa Mercante says on Twitter, from which she is not banned, you have no idea what journalism is. Your websites,
we actually do.
Your websites look like they're from 2001. They're riddled with typos. You use yourselves as a source for stories. You have an internet connection and a webcam and think you have something worthy to say. We could set my Nana up.
She said, with a camera, and that she could do a better job. Here's the thing. This is also Alyssa Mercante, who's supposed to be a professional journalist, who interviews somebody deliberately according to the person, took things out of context and ran with it and misrepresented the interview from what she allegedly led them to believe.
Yeah.
I don't know about the truth of that. That's what they were saying. And if that's the case, that was unprofessional. So she's not exactly one. And then going around telling people to fight her if they don't like what she has to say.
They offered.
They offered acting like a total puss.
Vera Dark offered
to fight her. Not very professional. I don't want to hear one damn thing about being a professional journalist, because most professional journalists don't act that way, Alyssa.
It's a shame that private equity and Google have gutted legacy media sites, and the stupidest, cruelest people in the world are rushing in to fill the gaps.
I'm gonna correct her here. No, it's a shame. It's not a shame, Alyssa, because what happened was legacy media sites got outed for being really stupid. So what they did was they were legacy media because they had decades, sometimes more than 100 years plus of work ethic and things that built it up to where it was. And then they decided to go all in hiring people like you. And they gave you a warm seat that you did nothing to build. And then people like you came in and put up trashy shit articles and talked down to the fans and thought that you were above everyone else. And because of it, people are just like, nah, fam, I don't have to give you any clicks. And they stopped giving you clicks. And then the advertising dried up. And now here we are. But legacy media is destroyed for two reasons. People like you and advertising. That's what it is. It's not because anybody could do this. And the next thing is, if you're worried about that, then my comment is the audience is listening to them, not you. That sounds like a little bit of a jealousy thing right there, Alyssa.
Yeah, I think that is factoring into it, because we're going to talk about this, because some people that actually worked in legacy media are doing quite well on their own. I mean, if you're good at what you do and you connect with your audience, you'll be fine.
They start off doing their own things and they're doing okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But Alyssa doesn't try that because, well, she did, but we know how that went. And so now she's doing, working for Kotaku.
Sending solidarity and love to the amazing writers at Kotaku Australia and all the other sites affected. You're all stars and deserve better. Capitalism is cruel. Your work remains always.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I'm not going to say it doesn't. I mean, these people, but then the companies are just licensed out. They could decide not to renew at any time.
The internet and the rats infesting it are even crueler, but a reminder, cheering for good people losing their jobs while men get rich off their labor is morally bankrupt. Men.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about that, though. A couple things. One, we always say we do not delight people losing their jobs. Unless it was Alyssa, then I'd probably be happy about it. But, the thing is, they're not sustainable. They would, if they were making money, and if people were going to these sites and they were actually, people were still supporting these sites, they would not be shutting down because they'd be making money.
Yeah, that's just it. We're going to talk about a man who's making money who used to work for Kotaku, and they wanted to destroy him. And he's doing quite well. And there are lots of gaming journos actually who worked within the system and they went out on their own and they're doing quite well. There are journalists who started as much as they hate like Tucker Carlson and these people, they actually started mainstream media and they went out on their own and they're doing okay. And
you shouldn't have said that, because now I'm like, oh my God, all right, confirmed.
No, I'm just saying there are people on the left too. There are people on the left who have gone to video.
Well, we know some people that jumped ship from different blogs that were failing and they started their own thing and they're doing okay. You know? It does happen. People do it all the time. I love this last comment, though. And by the way, I hate that I even have to say this, but let's stop the reactionary ride before it gains speed. See, she only likes reactionary rides when she's the one leading it. We are not affiliated.
How much does she charge for that?
I know, right? We are not affiliated with Kotaku Australia. We don't share anything except a love for games and good reporting. Well, I question both the love for games and good reporting, but here we are.
Former Kotaku journalist Luke Plunkett, who I think was actually there, I could be mistaken, but I think he was there longer than she was, said that a lot of the images and the archives are shared on Australia, because Australia probably just mirrored the entire site, right? So they probably have a lot of stuff that they don't have on the Geo side. So yeah, they're I think it's a taste of things to come. Like you said, there's a licensing fee, and I think it's just not worth it for a company to even license the Kotaku name. Well,
we know that Geo Media is just throwing things overboard. I think Kotaku is just a matter of time. But I love the comment about the love for games, because but she forgot the caveat: games that have acceptable characters that we like, games that don't treat women the way I don't want them to be treated, games that meet all these criteria that we have decided, because we're the tastemakers, and they're pissed that no one's looking to them for that anymore. So they're not listening anymore.
Good reporting, like you said, there was an independent developer who was ambushed by Alyssa. He did an interview according to him, but he did an interview with Alyssa, and she tried to go after him for political views or something. It was very and this was like cozy game. This was like a farm sim, because he put a tweet out there about jiggle physics, and they always try to paint people they don't like or who have different political opinions in the worst possible light. Kotaku is the site that's responsible for Troy Levitt getting gone from Hogwarts Legacy because they had an issue with J.K. Rowling. So he was collateral damage. And so they started looking into his history, dug up videos from years ago that could be.
Well, that by them, you don't mean her particularly.
No, but I'm just saying Kotaku, this is how they operate. This is why nobody trusts them before she even came into the picture. And she just threw kerosene on the fire.
Wasn't the one convention that the Kotaku's journalistic integrity is error?
That was MagFest. Yeah,
it was beautiful.
MagFest. Again, this is a convention I would consider to be more liberal, more left. They went after MagFest because they dared have a convention during the pandemic, but they followed all the protocols. And then they went after them because they said they weren't doing enough with the mask mandates and the sanitization and all that, but they did everything they were supposed to do per the current guidance, and they still got blasted. So yeah, they put a sign up and said there is like
error 404, whatever.
Error 404. There is no journalistic integrity.
And then they had to take it down. I wouldn't take it down. You should left it up.
Colin Moriarty, he said the timing of Kotaku's Australia's closure is funny since we just discussed Schadenfreude and how Kotaku's inevitable demise is my North Star in that regard. They and many others cheered for my downfall. That didn't work out too well for them, and turnabout is fair play.
Alyssa's always out there trying to stir shit, stir the pot, cheer for other people to get stuff happen to them. But then she doesn't like it when it happens to people she knows, or what I'm saying, it's like pot or kettle there.
So this is Last Stand Media on Patreon, 17,000 members. Yeah, he's doing okay. They're doing okay, right? Yep. So you can make money on your own. You can make money on Substack. You can make money on YouTube. You can make money on your own doing a journalism, and you can keep your journalistic integrity intact. In fact, I would say you probably have a better chance at keeping your journalistic integrity intact if you go out on your own, because you're not beholden to investors. You're not beholden to corporate advertising. And there are a lot of games that are played, no pun intended, with a lot of these websites, because they're like, hey, like so-and-so company is a huge advertiser, so we can't say anything negative about this game. We can't say anything negative about this movie. If we want interviews with the people behind this game or this movie or TV show or whatever, we got to play ball.
And even then, you say stuff, and then it's amazing how some of these outlets don't get access to things like from Nintendo anymore.
Yeah, well, that was Kotaku.
I know.
That was Luke Plunkett, who made some quip about Nintendo and World War II, and they didn't appreciate it, so they apparently blacklisted them. He's no longer with them, but I don't know what to tell you there, Alyssa. Things are changing, and a lot of people are not going to be changing with the times. Some people will be fine, and I think there's just a lot of salt. I mean, are there people reacting to everything going on that are completely unqualified, and they're just giving hot takes? Yeah.
And they're just mad because they get more views than she does.
But they still get more views than Kotaku. I was on their website this morning. I was on their YouTube page, and they're lucky if, they haven't posted anything in like 2 months, but they're lucky if they would break 2,000 views on the video. And this is a video that they paid somebody to actually professionally edit. It's just like G4 TV all over again.
Well, and the thing is about the ones that are, beating them with their videos, they do it fully clothed.
Ouch. I think we're going to end it there.
Yep.
It's not a happy ending. So got to pay extra for that. We're going to wrap it up.
Yes.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.